everyone. I'm so excited to be here for the official closure of the Sol Green Capital program, and I'm excited to have you with us today. I'm happy and grateful for having the startups and the corporates of the program working together and implementing solutions in the city of Lisbon. Everyone was working so hard in the past months, and I can only say, we can only innovate together. And today, this is what we'll celebrate. Not only Smarter Lisbon, but also the collaboration and co-creation between the program corporates and startups in the city. My name is Mohamed, I'm a project manager at BTI, and I'll be your host today. Today, we're going to discuss the progress that the program has been doing so far, what the selected startups have been up to, what sort of innovative projects they've been developing with the program partners. We're also going to have two keynote speakers. The first is Dan Roosagaard, who's an artist and innovator in sustainability, and he will give us a keynote about sustainable cities. Then we have Renato Castro, who will be talking about smart cities and open and urban technologies, and they're both going to give us a glimpse on the future. But before that, I would like to invite the Municipal Director of Economy and Innovation, Margarida Figueiredo, for the welcome notes from the Lisbon Municipality. Good morning, Margarida. Are you there?
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning. Okay. How are you doing?
Oh, good morning, everyone. I'm fine. And what about you? Okay? It's everything okay?
Everything is perfect.
Welcome all to the demo day of the 7th edition of Smart Open Lisboa program, and welcome to Lisboa in a digital way. So this edition of Smart Open Lisboa program was focused on Lisboa Green Capital and the challenge that we all face to achieve a more sustainable future for our city. Welcome to the partners, Águas de Portugal, Delta, Panai Serra, Galp, Brisa, Actions, Amazon Web Service, Turismo Portugal, NOS, European Commission representation in Portugal, and thank you for investing in solutions that promote sustainability and for bringing innovation to the city of Lisbon. Welcome to the startups and congratulations for being present in this demo day. You are the 10 within the universe of 148 applications that reached to the final stage of implementation of the 16 pilots. Hope that the work and co-design that had been made these last months with the partners in the Smart Open Lisbon had been fruitful. Thank you also to BTI for organizing this program with us, promoting innovative solutions and a better city lifestyle in Lisbon. The city of Lisbon has very concrete goals and objectives to achieve in the coming years, and only with the commitment of all agents, from startups to large public and private companies, will be able to achieve a more sustainable city. Innovation plays a very important role here. In a world confronted by social and environmental problems, combining innovation with sustainability becomes increasingly necessary. It's a way to reach new market opportunities and new entrepreneurship opportunities that requires innovative solutions. Hope this Smart Open Lisboa program has been an opportunity to develop and implement innovative solutions. So I wish you all an excellent demo day, and thank you all for participating in this very important and interesting program in Lisbon. Enjoy it in an excellent day. Thank you, Mohamed.
Thank you so much, Margarida. Now we've heard it from the Lisbon municipality. Let's hear from the European Commission. And I would like to invite my next guest, Paulo da Silva Lemos, from the Directorate of the Environment at the European Commission. He's also the former Secretary of State for the Environment and the current political officer on sustainable products and plastics in the European Commission. Good morning, Paulo. Are you there?
Good morning. Hello. And thank you very much for the invitation. The European Commission is very happy to be associated to this event. We would like to congratulate the organization, but also the participants and the startups. A big number applied. I'm sure that the jury had a big task to choose the best ones, and I hope that the projects that will be selected will contribute to sustainability. As you know, the European Union has been in the forefront of sustainability around the globe. But we also realize that the current situation in terms of climate, in terms of the environment, needs further efforts. And that's why one of the first actions of the European Union was the promotion of the European Green Deal. It was presented in the end of 2019, and it sets a vision for a future and ambition to be for Europe to be climate neutral by 2050. This will be achieved by increasing our climate ambition, but also by other actions in areas such as circular economy, biodiversity, food waste, pollution, mobility, renewable energy, and buildings. These actions will also contribute to the climate ambition, for instance, on circular economy by prolonging the lifetime of the products, by promoting reuse, remanufacture, recycling of products. We are contributing to reduce CO2 emissions. It is calculated that 62% of the emissions of the products are generated during the extraction, transformation, and processing of these materials. So circular economy is a way also to achieve this climate ambition. The European Green Deal also has the means to invest in this transformation. It was set together with the Green Deal, the European Investment Plan, that foresees that in 10 years we will mobilize around 1.1 trillion euros in this transformation. And that it's a lot of investment that we need. We need good projects for that. The present COVID crisis also reinforced our willingness for this transformation. And it is clear for all that the future after COVID is green and digital. And the Recovery and Resilience Plan is there to prove it. Our president, when she presented the European Green Deal, she said that the European Green Deal was the man on the moon moment of Europe. This means not only mobilizing and setting a vision, but above all, to collect the will to transform from all our citizens, all our companies, and obviously startups. They have a big role to play. And I'm very glad that some projects were selected and they will be implemented. And I believe that this is also a contribution for the objectives of the Green Deal. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Paulo. It's quite interesting to get both the perspective of the city of Lisbon and the European Commission. Right, so now let's jump into the journey of this program, how it started, how we got to where we are today, and what's going to be presented today. So, stepping a bit back, this program is, and as Margarida mentioned, this is a specific edition of Smart Open Lisboa, which is a flagship open innovation program of the city of Lisbon, created by the municipality. And it focuses on the experimentation and integration of innovative solutions in the city of Lisbon. And among the objectives of the program is to be a platform for communication and collaboration between the city, its people, corporates, and startups, and be a one-stop shop and the aggregation or the aggregator of these solutions, and of course integrate them and be the framework to accelerate them. The specific edition, and as you've heard from Paulo from the European Commission, comes under the context of Lisbon being the green capital for 2020. And it brought together different partners. So for instance, we have, of course, the Lisbon municipality as the creator. We have the piloting partners. We have Águas de Portugal, which is the Portuguese water utility. We have Brisa, one of the largest infrastructure companies in Portugal with presence in Europe and the US. Delta Café is the national market leader in roasting and distribution of coffee products, both in retail and food service channels. Galp is a multinational energy utility with its headquarters in Portugal. Sonai Sierra, an active property company and full real estate service provider. And then we move to the associated partners. We have Axiange, that focuses on the challenge of digital transformation. Amazon Web Services, a subsidiary of Amazon, providing on-demand cloud computing platforms. Of course, the European Commission representation in Portugal. NOS as the leading Portuguese telecommunication and media company. Last but not least, Turismo de Portugal, the national tourism authority in Portugal. And all of these partners have been with us in a journey, in this innovation journey, and it has been actually 10 months in the making, and it has 5 key stages. So all of this started with the preparation. This is where we look into what are the specific challenges that the partners bring, that the cities bring, and that we'll be tackling in this program. And based on that, we start the scouting, and we open application to startups from all over the world. The door is open to any country, to any startup, to come in to Lisbon and experiment their solution. After we have the selection, we have the bootcamp. But this is the moment where the selected startups and the partners start interacting together and define specific collaboration and pilot plans. Then there is a period of experimentation, and the last stage of the program is the demo day, in which we are here today. But let's zoom in specifically on some of the outcomes of these stages. For instance, in the first stage, in the challenge identification, there were 6 macro challenges that were identified. So we have energy and water efficiency, sustainable materials, waste value and management, engagement and behavior, supply chain, and green spaces and air quality. And actually, within these macro challenges, there were many micro-specific challenges that were raised to the startups to tackle. After that, we have received 188 applications from all over the world. So we have received applications from 39 countries, and this is from the US, of course, from Portugal, from Spain, from Russia, from India, from South Africa, from Brazil, you name it. And then for the ones that are a bit more curious in terms of technologies that apply to the program, we have the top 7 here. So we have software as the number 1, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence and machine learning, big data, hardware, cloud tech, and mobile app. And out of these 188 startups, there were 35 startups that made it to the first selection phase, which is the online pitch. And then 17 of those moved to the bootcamp. And these 17 startups engaged with the partners that I mentioned, and to start to understand what sort of collaboration plans they could do together. And then we arrived to 10 startups that are still with us today in the program, designing and conducting pilots, and 16 pilots actually with these 10 startups. And I would like to welcome all of them. For instance, we have Bini, the world's first AI-based smart bin from Poland. We have By Waste, a software-as-a-service solution to recycle household waste from Italy. We have EcoBean, a circular economy solution that gives coffee waste a second life from Poland. We have Equilibrium from India, an IoT-powered energy and asset management for smart cities and buildings. We have EverImpact from France, an environmental monitoring software solution for cities and company. We have Glycol from Italy that transforms undifferentiated waste into reusable flakes of raw materials. We have Heat Ventures from Hungary, an innovative heat energy storage solution to save energy and space. We have MobiGIS, an analytics and forecasting solution for water harvesting for industrial application from Italy. We have Oxo Energy from the UK, a flywheel energy storage solution. And finally, or last but not least, we have the Waste Transformers that transforms food waste into clean energy and organic fertilizer on site. Today, we're going to hear it all from them, and we're going to hear about the 16 pilots that we have ongoing in the program. And we'll have now 5 startup presentations. They will be 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll have a short break, a 10 minutes break. And these presentations will be actually introduced by the partner that's working with them, and they were gonna tell us what are their challenges and objectives for the specific collaboration. So the first one is Bini Smart from Poland, an AI-based solution for smart waste management. And they're collaborating with Sonai Sierra. And actually for that, I would like to invite Nuno Alves from Sonai Sierra to tell us about the objectives of this collaboration. Good morning, Nuno.
Hello. Good morning to you all. I'm Mohammed. How are you? All good, I hope. So for this particular project with Bini, things are being still negotiated in terms of contract. So we don't have yet a green light, but the challenges that we want to tackle with BNE for this project is, first of all, to improve our shopping center performance through cost reductions, to improve also the recycling rates of the shopping centers, and also to improve visitor awareness regarding the importance of recycling in shopping centers. So the solution we have identified with BNE, it's the installation of a smart waste bin that kinds of sorts the waste automatically on visitor behalf and compacts the waste and gives alerts when the bins are full. So it's a value added to our cleaning team.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nuno. I'll pass now the word to Jacob, actually, from Bini, to show us how this is going so far.
Hi, my name is Jacob and I represent Bini. And we were chosen by Sonae Sierra for a Sol Green Capital program as their partner. In this presentation, I'd like to bring you closer the outcomes of our work. So at the beginning, let me begin by defining the problem our partner is facing. So we, as a human species in general, we have a problem with the proper waste sorting. And as you can see, like the accuracy and the efficiency of this process, especially in Europe, is on average 30%. One of the reasons for that is for sure the lack of proper and efficient infrastructure. And this, on the other hand, leads to a situation where such commercial facilities have to constantly deal with increasing costs of waste disposal. This is why we created a solution which uses advanced AI-based technology to automatically recognize and sort our waste, to put it simply. After being chosen by Sonae Sierra, we were wondering where we could apply this solution in order to benefit from it. The place we've chosen is the Centro Colombo shopping center in Lisbon, and we plan to start the pilot in August, which would last 3 months. To bring you closer the timeline of our ongoing negotiations, in April we started the pilot preparation, which means that after being chosen, we started looking for a location, and once we've done that, we started to prepare a device for this location, which means that we created a special design for such a device in order to attract people's attention in this shopping center, and also so that the device could be aligned with the fit out of this facility. After that, we started making formal agreements, which are still ongoing. As I mentioned earlier, we are planning to start the pilot on August, and it would last for the next 3 months, so that in December we could evaluate the project and also analyze the data we've gathered and see what are the benefits of such solution implemented in such specific environment. The objectives for the project are, first of all, to reduce the amount of waste bins installed on site, and also to increase accuracy of waste separation on site. Right now, it's a problem, and the waste inside facility are not separated correctly because it's done manually by human. So by applying a technology based on artificial intelligence, we want to increase the accuracy of this process inside facility. Of course, there is another aspect. The goal we want to achieve is that to increase the ecological attitude of a place, so that the Centro Colombo could be also seen as an innovative location which installs the latest technology which serves our environment. Right now, what we've managed to achieve is that we found a way to design a device which would be aligned with a fit out of the shopping center, as I mentioned earlier. Right now, the device is also wrapped and it's getting ready to be delivered and to be shipped. And once all the formal agreements are done, we will be able to start the project and implement and install the solution on site. Thank you very much. If there are any questions and you would like to learn more about our cooperation with Sonae Sierra, or you would like to follow our progress, feel free to reach out to me either directly or via Soul Capital. Thank you very much, and I wish you a great day.
Thank you so much, Jacob. It's great to see that you're revolutionizing the recycling chain. So next up, we have ByWaste from the Netherlands, and they will showcase their software as a service solution for waste recycling. And for this, I would like to invite Susana Paulo from the Lisbon municipality to tell us a few words about this ongoing collaboration. Good morning, Susana.
Hello, Mohamed. Good morning. How are you?
All here. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. Okay, thank you, and thank you all for being here today. It has been a pleasure to participate in this Smart Open Lisboa. For this pilot, ByWaste, the pilot is an ambitious and challenging one. Not so much because of the technology and technical complexity, but because it depends on community engagement. The municipality is committed and support and promote initiatives that are related to circular economy, and we foresee a great potential in this pilot to give a second life to goods that we formally look at as trash is the main goal of this pilot.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Susana. So now we'll hear it from Tommaso, who will be showing us how will that work in practice.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tommaso. I'm the founder CEO of ByWaste. And here I'm going to tell you what ByWaste is going to do for the city of Lisboa. ByWaste is the simplest solution to give a new life to everyday objects. And here in this pilot, we're going to help the city of Lisboa to raise awareness and to collect more items like e-waste, books, toys and textiles, and Delta Café to improve their reverse logistics, optimize their reverse logistics. How? We offer a tech solution for citizens who can download our app and can select which items I want to donate and look for ByWaste apps in the map, and recyclers who are going to know which items are available and they can buy them or recycle them. The solution has minimal effort for the citizens, and we offer them rewards in the form of credits. Then the items are collected by empty vans of Delta Café coming back on the way back. It results in an increased quality of the items because there is no contamination, and quantity because even lazy people or people who are not concerned about the environment have the easy solution at their convenience. And more importantly, we want to activate the community. That's why among the list of partners, there is Lisboa, Delta Café, Eletrao, which is the biggest consortium of e-waste recyclers, and Viver Teleiras, who are going to help in their neighbor to increase awareness and to support the pilot. Those are the first screens of the app. People start with an account, they tell us which item they have at home, and then they look for the most suitable day of the drop-off. And this is the process. It starts with a communication campaign done in collaboration with the municipality. Users are going to use the app to schedule their drop-off, which are going to happen in one of the ByWaste apps, together with Viver Teleiras network. Then their volunteers are going to do sorting and selection and keep the best items, the most reusable ones, for the community. The items which are broken or can be recycled are going to be brought by Delta Café to their facility, then are going to be sold to Eletrao and other recyclers and waste companies. Where are we now? We are finalizing the meeting with the partners, Delta, Viver Teleiras, and Eletrao, we need to finalize the app in Portuguese. The app is currently available in Dutch, where we are active. And then in August, are going to start work on the communication strategy with Lisboa. The goal is to launch the pilot in October. What we want to obtain? We want to obtain data about behavior. We want to, of course, recycle and reuse as many items as possible, which contribute to save CO2, because those items are not going to be incinerated or burned, and ultimately raise awareness. So the pilot is lasting for 3 months, from October to December, in Teleiras. Then, beginning of the year, we create a report with the aim to scale to the whole city of Lisbon by March, and then expand by summer to all other municipalities in Portugal. That's the goal for By Waste. Obrigado, everybody. Looking forward to see you in Lisboa in October. Bye.
Thank you so much, Tomás. It was very interesting to actually see how you change people's perspective on what's a sustainable lifestyle. Next up, we have EcoBean from Poland, which will introduce us their solution of giving coffee waste a second life. And we'll talk about their ongoing collaboration with Delta. For that, I would like to invite my next guest, Eunice Costa from Delta, who will tell us about the objectives of this collaboration.
Hi to everyone. You are listening to me? Yes? Okay. So we have 3 startups today. We are talking about 3 projects, and all the projects are about the waste management. This is about the bin waste management, and we are excited about it because we want to try 2 things. Of course, the logistic model in Lisbon with our restaurants, and to see how we can decrease the footprint to do it, okay? And then, of course, to give a second life, as you said, Mohamed, to the waste, okay? And of course, this is a big challenge in the 2 ways, but let's see what EcoBean has to say it. And thank you.
Let's see what they have to say with us. Thank you, Eunice. I'll pass the word to Marcin, and he's going to present to us the project.
Hello, Portugal. Good morning, Lisbon. Here is EcoBean. I want to present you a short summary about our pilot, what we have done already, and what we will do in near future together with Delta and City of Lisbon around our pilot project we call Circular Coffee for Lisbon. All we know what's happening right now with the climate change. There are a couple of causes. One of it is what we already doing with the organic waste. Regarding the law, all the organic waste needs to be separated and processed. So we have not much time to do this till 2025. Probably there will be some taxes for the industrial sectors, which will not doing this. So we think we need to do all. We are, as a community, we are responsible to take some actions. What are our plan and the problem, what we want to solve? Every day around Lisbon, there are generated more than 25 tons of coffee waste daily. So it's responsible for huge CO2 emission. Our solution, we want to make a dedicated spent coffee grounds collection for the whole HoReCa service and implement the disruptive technology of SCG valorization in ongoing process. What are the goals of the pilot? We want to test 2 types of logistics. The one will be dedicated service, door-to-door, with using our partner GLS, and the second one will be in cooperation with municipality. There will be collection from the bulk containers placed around the city. So our pilot will cover 3 neighborhoods around the Lisbon, and the coffee waste will be transformed to the Delta warehouse where will be repurposed. Thanks to our partners, thanks to City of Lisbon, thanks to Delta, and also our subcontractors, we'll be able to meet all the technical requirements and have some necessary resources to make it happen. our plan for the future is start in, I think, just right after the holidays. So I think in September we're going to design the logistic model for whole city, for Lisbon. We during our pilot we made an educational campaign. We'll measure, thanks to Made of Lisbon, whole this footprint for our process, and decide on application use of collected SCG around this pilot and develop. So we plan to end the pilot in the beginning of next year with the final report around February. So we have still a couple of constraints to be solved, and the dimensions, the number of point of sales will engage to the pilot, define the hotspots around the city for the bulk containers, and how to exactly engage all the parties and the beneficiaries of this project. We have we already couple of things done, and we made a consortium to this pilot with the Delta, Made of Lisbon, and Turismo de Portugal, so they are already involved in the process. And what are the plans for the future? So the scaling up potential, this is only the beginning. We're closing the loop around Lisbon. It's our main goal is to close the loop for whole Portugal. It means that will be our goal. It's to repurpose more than 50,000 tons per year of coffee waste generated in Portugal. So thank you very much. Enjoy your coffee and help us turn waste into green products, cup after cup. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcin, and it's great to know that the waste left over from our daily cup of coffee could one day turn into clean energy products. So now we'll switch gears a bit and we'll go from waste management to energy efficiency, in which Equilibrium, that focuses on IoT or has its IoT-powered energy and asset management solution for smart cities and building, is developing now pilots with various partners. We have the Lisbon Municipality, Águas Portugal, Brisa, and Sonai Sierra. And I'll invite each one of them to tell us about this collaboration and how it's going, starting with the Lisbon Municipality. And I'll invite again Susana Paulo.
Hello again. For this pilot with Equilibrium, the municipality has three objectives: energy savings, maintenance cost reduction, and to get the human wellness and air quality index data. That are the main three objectives. But let's hear it from Equilibrium that will explain it better how the pilot will be.
Águas Portugal, in which I'll invite Rita Lourinho to tell us about this collaboration. Good morning, Rita.
Hello, Mohamed. Hello, everyone. The pilot is not yet implemented in Águas de Portugal. We are in conversations with Equilibrium, but we expected that the pilot that are foreseen will be contribute for two challenges: the energy efficiency and in the predictive maintenance on the pumping stations, of course. That's where the pilot will be installed. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Rita. Now let's hear from Brisa, who's also exploring collaboration with Equilibrium, and I will invite Bernardo Paras. Good morning, Bernardo.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mohamed. Brisa counts on Equilibrium to turn its building smart, optimizing here maintenance and energy costs, using the power of IoT and AI-powered assets intelligent that Equilibrium has, and hence creating efficiencies. Well, the pilot project proposal delivery was affected by a COVID-19 wave on Equilibrium's team, but now we do believe we would be able to proceed and to create those energy efficiencies. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Bernardo. Last but not least, I'll pass the word to Sonai Sierra, and I'll invite again Nuno Alves. Hello again, Nuno.
Hello again, guys. So regarding Equilibrium, we will be using the information that we have available at Centro Vasta Gama in Lisbon regarding their building management system. And by using Equilibrium state-of-the-art artificial intelligence model, we will for sure predict the future consumption of key systems like the HVAC that we have on Centro Vasta Gama, and reduce two things. For one side, the costs regarding the energy consumptions and the electricity consumption itself. And also we will have also the issue of maintenance, anticipating maintenance needs according to the identification of outliers between real consumptions and predictive consumptions. So I believe that we be working with Equilibrium in very short term. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nuno, and thank you to all the partners that presented to us the objectives. Now let's hear it from Aritz, who will show us what he has for us today.
Namaste from India. This is Harit Soni, one of the co-founders of Equilibrium Energy. Equilibrium is a leader in IoT-powered asset and energy intelligence. And today I'm going to share some exciting things about how we're working with partners in Lisbon to make it a smart and sustainable city. Our platform SmartSense is a full-stack IoT platform which can acquire data from existing equipments, buildings, as well as pumping stations, and convert that data into actionable intelligence for reducing energy costs, maintenance costs, as well as increase the uptime for increased reliability for the city to operate in an efficient manner. We started our journey with one of the partners, Sonai Sierra, at the beginning of the program, and we identified two problems. How to look at one of their malls and improve the energy efficiency by nearly 3 to 5%. And number two, how to optimize their maintenance costs so that people can spend time in a more proactive and efficient manner for making it a sustainable mall. We selected the Centro Vasco da Gama mall for the operations, and we are now going to implement SmartSense in their premises. The SmartSense solution is going to create a central dashboard of all their malls, starting with Centro de Vasco da Gama Mall, which will give them automated insights for energy optimization. This solution will also look at specific equipment like AHUs and low-side equipment for energy efficiency using our proprietary digital twins of SmartSense. We have already started the journey towards the pilot. We are now signing a contract, and over the next 3 months, we will be seeing results of the solution being deployed in the Lisbon area. The next pilot we identified was with ADP. ADP wanted to optimize its pumping station's maintenance cost, which means that instead of somebody going to the site and doing maintenance periodically, the solution wanted predictive maintenance for the critical equipment. SmartSense is going to integrate with all the existing sensors on the pumping station and create a digital twin of these pumping stations so that the team can then proactively act and identify the pumps which are going to fail in the near future, or they could potentially become more energy efficient in its operations. This is going to change the way ADP supplies and manages the infrastructure to provide water to the whole country of Portugal. And we have started this journey where we have identified the solution or the pilot project close to the city of Lisbon. We are close to finalizing the commercial terms, and the project will be reality in the next couple of months. The third partner that we are closely working with is the Lisbon Municipal Corporation. The Lisbon Municipal Corporation wanted to look at 3 objectives, which is energy optimization, asset optimization, and human wellness index, which is going to track the real-time the health, wellness of the air that the occupants inside the building are breathing. This is where SmartSense is going to integrate with the existing building management system, as well as integrate with the air quality sensors in the public area, so that the occupants can get a real-time view of which of the locations and equipments are becoming inefficient, as well as getting a central view of whether the public area that they are occupying is comfortable enough for the occupants to be in or not. We have already started the discussions with the municipal corporation. However, due to the low occupancy of the buildings currently, we will start the project in October or December time, and we will then be deploying replicating the solution across different buildings. We are also implementing this solution with our Portuguese partner Axians, who is also helping us in the ADB project. The fourth project is with Brisa. With Brisa, the primary focus of the project is to look at optimizing the energy and the human wellness index. We have also started the communication with them, and we will now be looking at developing a project along with them in the next couple of months. SmartSense is a full stack solution which is going to help the city of Lisbon to become more efficient, sustainable, and smart. And at Equilibrium, we're very, very proud to work with the team at Smart Open Lisboa to make the vision of the city a reality. Thank you.
Arit, that was quite interesting. You are indeed reimagining a tomorrow with healthy buildings and smarter cities. So now we're getting closer to the break, but we still have another startup presentation. And to conclude this first part of the demo day, we will change once again the theme and pass to air quality. Next up, we have EverImpact, a startup that has environmental monitoring solutions for cities and companies. And they're currently developing collaboration pilots with the municipality, Brisa and Galp. First, I would like to invite once again Susana Paulo from the municipality. Hello again.
Hello again, Mohammed. Hello, everybody. Almost it's the last time you'll see me. With EverImpact, the municipality of Lisbon and also Lisboa Nova are still exploring collaboration, being the main objective monitoring greenhouse gas emissions in the city of Lisbon. We have a very goal to achieve in this case, and we must see if we are reaching our goal. So, but I'm sure EverImpact can explain it better than me.
Looking forward to that as well. Right, now let's hear it from Brisa, and I'll invite once again Bernardo Barros to tell us about this collaboration.
Hello again, Mohammed. Well, EverImpact solution is based on a IoT platform for automated carbon footprint calculation, providing insights to reductions and also certifying those reductions. On Brisa's side, Brisa is committed on being carbon neutral by 2045, and therefore EverImpact technology could be an alternative methodology to measure, reduce, and certify these carbon reductions. So the intended pilot project will be in a selected area in which we would deploy the required sensors that will collect the necessary data points.
Perfect. Thank you, Bernardo. Next up, we have Galp, and I'll invite Eduardo Coutinho to tell us about this collaboration. Good morning, Eduardo. I see that you are on mute. Typical.
Yeah, sorry.
Happens all the time, I know. We can hear you now. Perfect.
Telework, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
So good morning, Mohammed. Good morning, everybody. Glad to be here today. So Galp is currently committed to being a sustainable company that offers sustainable energy solutions. We currently have challenging emission reduction goals. We are set to become carbon neutral by 2050, and this is scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. We are also currently looking into opportunities such as smart city projects and carbon offsetting. So EverImpact appeared to us as a very promising partner here. We are currently working on a pilot in Sines refinery to test and validate their technology, as well as identify further collaboration opportunities. And we decided to test this solution in the refineries. It is one of our biggest emission sources, and it's also an asset where we are always looking for opportunities to reduce emissions.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Bart. Now let's hear it from Matthew.
Hi, I'm Mathieu Carlier, CEO and founder of Ever Impact. I'm going to explain how, as part of the Beta I Accelerator, we've been working with the different corporates and what have been discussed, what we aim to pilot, and what is the way forward. So with GALP, we've been discussing the challenge of monitoring the greenhouse gas emissions of a refinery and looking to do this with ground sensors and satellite data. And here the whole discussion is about where to place the sensors. Should they be on top of a stack or should it be around the site? And how to compare the data between what's estimated in different data captures done by GALP and the monitoring done by Ever Impact with satellite and sensors. And there we are looking to develop a first part with the satellite data and see how we can move forward with different modules of monitoring with sensors and the monetization of emissions reductions, with the goal to create a greenhouse gas emissions baseline in the first place. Second challenge was with the municipality of Lisbon, looking at how can we monitor the greenhouse gas emissions of the municipality, and with the goal to deploy 70 plus sensors over the city. And the discussions are of course ongoing, and it takes a bit of time to progress on such projects, but that's the initial piloting. We're also looking at how to leverage satellite data first, and then potentially deploy sensors and monetize the emissions reductions, which is usually a long-term project. And the discussions are ongoing, and I think we're also taking the time to assess the different ways forward. And last but not least, we also were in a piloting discussion with Brisa on how to monitor the greenhouse gas emissions of service stations and how to position sensors on top of a service station, and how can we make the carbon footprint of service stations. And again, here we need to establish the next steps in terms of where do we start with the satellite imagery analysis, deploying sensors and monetizing emissions in the future. So our solution is being in discussion with as part of the pilots. We're starting to pilot with different modules for each partner, either through satellite data plus potentially sensors, and as a final step to monetize greenhouse gas emissions. So the pilot goal is really the monitoring of the sites, or the different sites. How can we compare with existing data that is in place for each of the partner? What are the cost benefits also of our approach? Can we also monetize emissions for the project and generate revenues for the project and finance the whole service of monitoring emissions and create some added benefits versus existing technologies, and also to reduce the cost? And some of the technical challenges is, of course, for example, the exhaust stacks of a refinery. Where to place sensors is not easy. Same in the city, we have to find positioning of sensors, financing. So there are different parts involved in all these projects that need further discussions and planning of all these projects, of course. But we're progressing with the first part of the satellite analysis that will lead then to the deployment of sensors and the monetization modules. So this is a bit where we are in terms of the challenges, and the timelines is about 3 months to monitor emissions, to collect the first data from the deployment of the technology of Ever Impact. Then there is a data validation and a verification and certification of data that can take up to a year, and usually does, to reach to the last module, which is the 12 months to monetize greenhouse gas emissions and generate shared revenues for the project. So this is a bit how we've been working on the pilots as part of the Beta I, and thank all the corporate partners for the work we've done together. And we're looking, of course, forward to the next steps of the collaboration and develop further the projects, the pilot projects with the corporates. Thank you, and bye-bye. And feel free to reach out to us at Ever Impact. You have our details here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matthew and Ever Impact, for fighting climate change with innovative solutions. Right, so now we've reached the end of the first part, and I'm sure that everyone could benefit from a short break. So now we'll have a 10 minutes break. The startups and the partners know me and heard me say this before. To take the most out of this break, I advise you not to stay on the screen, stand up, walk around, and if possible, go to a window and get some fresh air. Believe me, it will be worth it. But don't get too far, because we have the second keynote speaker, Renato Castro, who will be giving us a keynote on smart cities and urban challenges or urban technologies in 10 minutes. See you in a bit. once again to the Soul Green Demo Day. Welcome to the second part. I hope you've had a break. I hope you've had some fresh air. And we're ready to go. So, before the second part of the presentations, we'll start by a keynote of our second guest, Renato Castro, who's joining us from Italy today. So Renato is a smart city expert and the author of the book City Smart Up, A New Era of Smart Cities. He's currently located in the Middle East region, working as a smart city expert and advising local governments in the smart city planning. Good morning, Renato. Are you there?
Yes, good morning, Mohammed. Can you hear me well?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you for being with us today. So Renato will share with us a keynote on smart cities and urban technologies. And the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mohammed, and well, great pleasure to be here. First of all, thanks BTI for inviting me to be here, and also congratulations for the project, Municipality of Lisbon and the partners. I really think that we can change the world and make our cities better by innovation, and that's what I've been doing for, let's say, the last 20 years. And today I would like to share with you a little bit about some perspectives for the future. I think that everybody now is asking what will be this post-COVID world, or how it will look like, and what will be the, let's say, the role of the cities on these. And there are two mega trends that I would like to share with you today that it's the way I see that we are going to this direction. First of all, a little bit of background. I've been living all the COVID, let's say, emergency, working for governments in two different parts of the world, but really deep emerging on the problem. I'm here in Italy, as Mohammed said. I'm based in Italy, like 5 kilometers far from the epicenter, where it started here in February last year. And last year, I've been working the whole year for the Italian government in the recovering strategy and also in the digital transformation strategy. It was a very good experience. Italy was not ready, as the world was not ready, but digital transformation will play now a very important role in let's say, in Europe in this recovery. And this year, I was invited by the government of Abu Dhabi to go to the Middle East and to start in another perspective also to help developing the cities and help developing or help implementing the smart city let's say, strategies. But what we can see, doesn't matter where we are in the world, that's a very important trend, is this, let's say, contradiction between globalization and localization. Actually, COVID just accelerates something that was already a trend, and localization is the new trend. The world will keep the global perspective, but citizens and cities will be more local as it was never been. And I think this is a very important aspect when you think about developing innovation projects in your city, or if you're a company to develop, let's say, products for citizens and for cities. You will see the latest project in Paris called 15-Minute City is exactly this. We bring to big cities, in what we call a smart city project, the perspective of small cities. And that's all about quality of life. And to talk more about, let me see if you see my, okay, get a little bit stuck here. Okay, great. So talk about a little bit more about this. I'd like to recall a very nice book. This book was a success in 2019. And the name is Factfulness. Hans Rosling was describing the way he sees the perspective of the world. And most part of the time, we see the world under a future that basically is not the reality, but it's the way we perceive the reality. And he starts the book with a question. What we think that has happened with the poverty in the world during the last 20 years? And there were three answers for this question. Nothing changed in 20 years. We had doubled the poverty in the last 20 years, or we have reduced the poverty by 50% in the last 20 years. And actually, most part of the respondents said or had the impression that the poverty was getting higher, and actually was not like this. 20 years, a very, let's say, short period. If you go 200 years ago, 85% of the world population was living in extreme poverty. Last year, we were 9%. This year, we grew, of course, because of the COVID, and we are facing all these consequences, but we're still 9.3. Actually, this short period of time accelerates a lot of the change, but the perspective in the long term is still very good. So I think this is the first, let's say, message I would like to leave here is that, yes, we are facing a challenge, but no, we are not getting worse. We are still in the path of getting better and making it better. And we should keep accelerating this process. This will change completely the way we perceive things. We have discussed a little bit about smart cities today. Dan gave very nice perspectives on how he sees this transformation. But before going deeper in smart cities, let's just make, let's say, a basic ground on the definition of smart cities. I've done my PhD on this topic. I have cataloged more than 200 different definitions about smart cities, and basically all together they give us, or they are based in 5 big pillars. Yes, it was, it is, and it will be more and more and more about technology. We talk about TICs, we talk about IoE, Internet of Everything, but technology is not anymore the final results that we want. Technology is just a means. Technology is just a driver. I've been working on the smart city field for the last 15 years. Since back when I was living still in China, and all the projects that I saw, and now I'm seeing that are successful, they are based in citizens. They are citizens-oriented. This is about, smart cities about people. Smart cities about smart people. And then we have tons of objectives when we develop a smart city project, but there is one main objective: enhance quality of life in our cities. You can target whatever you want. You should make money on it because still it's business, but the final results everybody is expecting. All the stakeholders, from universities to citizens, government to NGOs, we are talking about quality of life. And then this concept, or this modern concept of smart cities, started in the 80s, the end of the 70s in the States. But there was a big, let's say, change, a shift in the direction of the concept in the 2000s. When we started this new century, we started discussing about what we call new economies. Creative economy, sharing economy, circular economy, all of these new ways that we are, let's say, driving our lives nowadays, they are all related to smart cities. So if you are inside one of these new concepts, if you have the mindset of these new concepts, you are definitely on a smart city track. I've been traveling the world, talking to governments and mayors, and they always ask me, do you think that I have a smart city here? Or what should I do to promote a smart city in my city? And the question, or the answer, is always the same: ask your citizens. It's not about doing something. It's a process. Smart city is not a final destination. It's a process, a journey. And the last one, and I've been talking this, I don't know, since 2016, when I started speaking very actively around the world. Smart city is about resilience. Maybe this word was not making so much sense in the past year, but now after the COVID, it makes a lot of sense. Try to understand what happened in the, let's say, so-called big smart cities in the world: New York, Beijing, Barcelona, London. Those are cities that suffered a lot, and probably much more than other cities. They were already smart, but they were not resilient. or at least they were not. And it was not so difficult to understand that a kind of a pandemic could arrive or could rise or could be developed. We don't know what happened anyway, but we were not ready. So resilience is the fifth and last pillar, should be in the project of a smart city. And by doing this, and since 2016, I've been developing here in Europe a project that we call City Startup. It's exactly to bring this mindset of startups that has, let's say, shaped the new way to do business, the new way to grow the economy into the smart city governmental mindset. Governments now should think like companies to start deploying and delivering the new cities that citizens are waiting for. And these bring us exactly to the second big trend that we see now, and again was accelerated, just speeded off by the COVID, is that we are facing, living, and growing in the so-called fourth industrial revolution. Yes, but technology now will be much, much more related and applied to empower citizens, to empower people, harder than to go to live in Mars, for example. So you see all the loop we had in the stock markets around the world. Traditional companies lost their value night to day, and other companies like Zoom, we are here on Zoom today, just got exponential growth. Zoom has just bought a new company called Five9. You saw it, for $14 billion US, and 2 years ago they were even not worth $14 billion US. So the new trend, the big trend, and you are in the right direction, both you, the startups that are in the program now, and also Lisboa municipality, is exactly this: how we use technology to enhance life, to make better our quality of life, and then to give us a guideline through what's going to happen and the way that the governments are thinking, and then in the other way around, the way that startups should deliver solutions. We have 4 steps to what we call City Startup. First of all, cities are like companies. They need a pitch. And Lisbon has been doing this positioning of a city very well. And yeah, I see a pitch, I see a positioning of Lisbon. And then this should be involving, englobing all the DNA of the city. Citizens doesn't want a new city, they just want a better city, but also should work in collaboration with the companies to make it happen. Second, keep it simple. Forget big investments in huge infrastructure projects. If you have daily problems that need to be solved, that makes life better, fast. So think in a simple way, keep it simple, execute in a simple way. And this brings us to exactly what you're discussing here. I have an example of Kamikatsu. Kamikatsu is a very small village in Japan, 1.2 thousand inhabitants. And 20 years ago, they had a problem of recycling waste. The problem that they needed to build an incinerator to recycle or to process, at that time it was still incinerators, but to process the waste, they didn't have money to do this. And they stuck it on this problem for 1 month, and then someone popped up. Come on, our problem is not how to find the money to build the incinerator, but it's how to reduce the waste production. 20 years later, Kamikatsu now it's the first zero waste city in the world. Yeah, just to be certified now. They recycle and manually recirculate more than 90% of the whole waste that they produce. This is change of mindset. This is not technology itself, it's the way we evolve. And to do this, the third step is exactly find partners. I tell this to municipalities, but I also tell this to companies. We need to partner. Doesn't ask yourself how much is your budget to do smart cities or to promote a project. It's what can you offer to bring partners to the project, and again, Sol initiatives exactly about this. We have the example of my hometown, Rio de Janeiro, and it's an old case, but I always pop up. And I had the opportunity to be the ambassador of our command center there. At the moment that they switch on the command center in Rio, they just had less than 800 cameras on the street. And it's ridiculous. If you talk about CCTVs, systems for traffic management, we go to London, we have more than 16,000 cameras. If you go to Moscow, we have more than 190,000 cameras. What 900 cameras can do? Nothing. But just to double that number of cameras would be needed more than double the cost that was the command center itself. What they did, instead of thinking in a very direct way, just to put more cameras, they just invited Waze. At that time, Waze was still accelerating in the United States, was going to the IPO before being bought by Google. And from night to day, they raised it from 900 cameras to more than 1 million citizens co-creating the traffic in Rio de Janeiro. This project became a very successful project for Waze, and now cities around the world has this product. How much Rio spent? Zero. Waze basically nothing. They anyway had to be invested in P&D and new products. But this partnership brought them to a new dimension in the city development or city solutions. And the last one, and basically it's a consequence. We are not making cities smarter. It's a new mindset. Society is getting smarter. So we saw the presentation from the Netherlands, and it's one of my examples. Amsterdam Smart City, and love it. And they were the first ones to start talking about the 4 Ps, the public-private partnerships with people. And now we have a name here in Europe for these. It's called First People Public-Private Partnership. Bring your citizens or bring your customers as part of the partnership to develop new projects. So basically, that's what I forecast for our future. I was very positive, optimistic before the pandemic, and now I'm even more. Again, yeah, we have a lot of challenges around the world, but we were already in the right track. So to make this happen now probably will be much easier. It's just a matter of, again, new mentality, new mindset, and working together. Thank you very much. I think that we have time. I have just finished my 15 minutes, but we have more time for Q&A. So I give back the stage to Mohammed, and I'm here at your disposal, Mohammed.
Thank you so much, Renato. That was really amazing, and thank you particularly for giving concrete steps and concrete advices and practical advices on how to build the city of the future. So as you know now, we'll open the Q&A session, and for our audience on YouTube, you can write your question and we'll pass it to Renato. And I do have already one question for you. So what I picked up is that we're still on a good road. It's accelerating, but still a long way. What is the biggest opportunity that we need to tap into, in your opinion?
Well, I think now we are going to have much more, let's say, awareness and willingness from governments to make it happen. We see mainly here in Europe, we are talking about the recovery fund in countries like Italy and Spain. And if well, let's say, invested, it can bring us to a completely new reality here in Europe. I've been living in Europe for the last, 14 years, and I was always very optimistic, but I didn't see this connection between government and development. And now I see that, we have a very good opportunity. So projects like yours that bring companies from around the world to partner with cities and to offer new solutions can be a very good opportunity for both sides, governments and companies.
Perfect, indeed. Thank you. So let me see if we have any other questions. We do actually. We have a question from Martin, and it is, so we are going city by city, and it's amazing how you do this, but we're talking about accelerating because of COVID. So how can we scale up this, and how can we start running?
Well, this is another thing, very, very interesting. Most part of the times when we were talking in the past about pilot projects, we were seeing these pilot projects of startups in big cities, and again, the big issue was always how to scale, let's say, solutions. And what I see now is that we are starting to pilot solutions in small cities. And actually, if you think about Europe, for example, 95% of the European markets made by is very, very small cities. I'm talking to you now from a city that we are 4,000 something inhabitants. This is the reality of Europe. This is the reality of Latin America. And so I think that nowadays with these, let's say, very focus on bringing solution for daily life problems, we are going to see much more project scaling, and we are going to see opportunity for small companies to partner with the small cities. And then this solution that seems to be, let's say, very local, they can be scaled much faster than big solutions.
Perfect. So we have one last question from Manuel, and it is, any experience on citizen innovation that are updated or adopted by cities?
Yes. Well, there are a lot of nice projects, and well, I've lived in Barcelona for a while, and there, Barcelona, it's let's say, it's a city that used to listen a lot the citizens and co-create, invite citizens to co-create with them. And one of the nicest projects that I saw regarding bringing citizens inside is crowdfunding, using citizens to crowdfund public projects. It's not about asking citizens to pay for public projects, because we already pay the taxes and it's a lot, but it's inviting citizens to be part of the development and also to be partners or to be business partners of these developments. So I saw a lot of nice projects using these concepts. So instead of putting just the public budgeting projects, we bring as our crowdfunding, giving options to citizens to be part of these and to monetize from this development. So it's good for as a citizen, I take the benefit because I live in the city, but also as an investor, I can be, I'm offered opportunities to invest in citizens development.
Thank you so much, Renato. And indeed, and it is also the purpose of this program is to, the ultimate purpose is to upgrade Lisbon's citizen life. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I hope you've enjoyed this amazing keynote, and I hope now that you feel more energized because we still have a lot to share with you. So now we're going to hear more about the program startups and corporates and the remaining projects of the program that we'll still going to hear about. In the next presentation, we're going to focus on water and energy efficiency, and then we'll talk about waste valuation and management. First, we're going to talk about Heat Ventures that will share with us how they're applying their heat energy storage solution with Sonai Sierra. I invite once again Nuno Alves from Sonai Sierra to tell us more about this collaboration. Hello again, Nuno.
Hello again, guys. So regarding this particular project with Heat Ventures, Sonai Sierra identified a set of, I believe, 3 core challenges to tackle. The first one was, again, to improve our shopping center performance through cost reductions, to improve also the energy efficiency of the shopping center, and also to reduce our Sonai Sierra global carbon footprint. The solution we have identified with Heat Ventures, it's quite innovative. Basically, we are talking about installing 3 heat tanks that will store the cold water and will be used in the 2 chillers that we have at Cascais Shopping. So basically, we are going to produce cold water during night where electricity is cheaper. We are going to storage that cold water and use during the peak days that cold water to the chillers.
Thank you so much, Nuno. Now let's see what Heat Ventures have for us, and I'll pass the word to Zoltan to show us this project.
Hello everyone, I'm Zoltan from Heat Ventures, and I will present shortly what we achieved at Sonar Sierra. So basically our product is a thermal energy storage which saves energy, money and space in different heating and cooling systems. Traditionally, heat is stored by changing the temperature of the water, but we are using a special phase change material-based technology, which means that we are changing the phase, like solidifying and melting the material inside our storage. That's how we are able to achieve a good energy saving and a very good return on investment. We have several patents, we have customized and unique products as well to ensure scalability. Here you can see our pilot place, or actually the cooling profile of our pilot place, Qashqai Shopping Center. You can see that the cooling is varying during the day. So basically, by investing in a thermal energy storage, what you can charge during the night when the cooling efficiency is higher, and also the electricity tariff is lower, so you can charge the storage on a much lower price than in the peak hours, then you are able to achieve energy and, on the other hand, cost savings. We prepared two system design. The first one is a pilot system which would contain 3 heat tank storages, which means that we are able to subsidize one of the chillers in the building. We are able to save quite a high amount of cooling energy and quite high amount of CO2 emission per year. We have a quite low payback period. And after 3 months, after all the measurements, when the pilot is successful, we are ready to expand the system to the full scale, which means a full support and a much higher energy saving for Qashqai Shopping Center. Here you can see a quick drawing, a quick schematic, basically how we would like to implement the storage inside the existing cooling system, which includes some valves, some motors, which the process would be controlled by our control algorithm and control system, and the heat tank storages are hardwares which basically placed in the cooling system by a bypass circuit. At the moment, we are in the phase where we signed the contract. Soon we will be ready to ship the products, and the installation can happen in a quite short period of time, and the operation can start, and then we can prove energy saving, and we can prove that the system is really working, and we are ready to scale up.
Thank you so much, Zoltan and Heat Ventures, for contributing in cooling down the Earth by storing heat. Now let's talk about waste valuation. And our next startup is Glycol from Italy, a startup that transforms undifferentiated waste into reusable flakes of raw materials. And for this, I would like to invite Eunice Costa from Delta to tell us more about this collaboration. Hello again, Eunice.
Hello again. So this is a project we have lots of curiosity about, because this technology, let's say these algorithms, allows us to differentiate and to split all the materials we have it in our capsules. At the end, they put small fractions in which different materials, and allows us to have efficient management and about different materials, and to treat better the end of life of each material. So this is very good for us. Let's see how it will work, but Daniel explain better how it will works, the pilot.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Eunice. And indeed, let's hear it from Daniele.
Ciao, hi everyone, this is Daniele Pes from Team Glycol. Together with Delta, we have analyzed the possibility to industrially treat large quantities of exhausted coffee capsules. The intention is to shred several different types into flakes of basic materials such as coffee powders, aluminium and plastics, and then automatically separate them. Taking advantage of our recent patent focused on treatment of coffee capsules, we have made a preliminary design and dimensioning of a vertical application of Glycol technology for Delta. Then we have collaborated to develop a 2-stage proof of concept. First, a feasibility phase in which Delta will send glycol samples of 3 different types of capsules as well as technical data sheets. Glycol will scout and test the most appropriate technologies to implement the 3 phases, that is, shredding, sieving, and reading and separation. Second, after confronting with the results that will be the outcome of phase 1, Delta and Glycol together will hopefully plan the following prototyping phase. According to our team, we expect to complete the feasibility phase by the end of the year. Due to the complexities related to introducing innovation in mechanics, electronics, and software, the preliminary design and pre-dimensioning of the result has been pretty demanding, but also important because it has given the two companies, some clues of their complexity. A useful approach has been that of splitting the project into 2 phases. That has helped Delta especially to get insights on the dimension of the project. We all hope to move on and to dominate such complexity together. Thanks for the collaboration, and thanks our capital. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Daniel, and it's amazing to see how your solution is fighting for a world with no more waste. Now switching gears, we'll talk about water efficiency, and for this we have MobiGIS working with Águas de Portugal and developing a pilot that creates decision support system for water cycle and demand. And for this I would like to invite Marta Carvalho from Águas de Portugal to tell us about this pilot.
Good morning, Mohamed. Good morning, everybody. One of the main challenges of water managers and utilities is how to manage water resources more efficiently, particularly because water shortages and droughts are most likely to become more frequent and more severe in the future due to climate crisis. MobiGIS solution integrates different sources of data to predict water inflow at reservoirs, allowing to optimize water abstraction and storage. Therefore, one of the ADP utilities, which is EPAL from Lisbon area, decided to test their solution in a real-life environment. Our ambition is to develop a pilot in a reservoir for short-term and seasonal forecast of water inflows to support informed and integrated water management. Thank you, Mohamed.
Marta. Now let's hear it from Nicolo to see how this is working in practice.
Good morning. I will now present the solution designed by MobiGIS for our customer, Águas de Portugal. Water resource management is an important issue for a number of industries that use water on a daily basis, and it is important to know how much water will be available in the future in order to manage it in the best possible way. With Águas de Portugal, we identified the Peña Garcia Dam as an interesting case study for this type of analysis. The solution we propose is based on the use of different data sources, weather forecast, satellite data, in-situ data, and geomorphological data that are incorporated into physical models and machine learning algorithms in order to obtain a digital twin of the watershed. From the digital twin, it is possible to provide different services for the monitoring and the forecasting of water resources. The objective is to create a decision support system that allows management of resources taking into account the plant configuration, the water cycle in the basin, and the water demand. The resources required are essentially data used for model calibration, for the construction of hydrological balances, and for the provisional service, such as historical weather data, flow data from hydrometers or pipeline, water demand, basin geomorphology, and projected meteorological data. Analyses are currently being carried out on the plant data provided by the customer in order to identify the quantity and the quality of the data. Hydrological balances were carried out on the data actually collected, which show that of the average annual precipitation that fall in the basin, only about 10% is collected, while the rest is lost due to evapotranspiration. These analyses show that one of the main difficulties will be to adequately model evapotranspiration, which is a major component of the basin's water balance. Finally, the characteristics of the final service were defined with the customer, which will include the seasonal forecast of incoming flow, precipitation, and temperature, and a forecasting system for the level of the reservoir in order to better manage the resource. After receiving confirmation of the acceptance of the POC, the next steps are to begin the interaction with our contact and then to officially start the implementation of the case study. The final solution is to provide the customer with a platform that he can access with his own credential and in which he can use the services provided by simulating possible plant management scenarios. Our solution aims to improve reservoir management with greater forecast accuracy and identify periods of water scarcity for an all-in-one solution fully integrated into the customer systems. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Nicolo, and thank you especially for contributing in saving one of the Earth's scarcest resources. Next up, we have Oxo Energy from the UK, and they will talk about their collaboration with Brisa focused on UPS charging. For this, I would like to invite Bernardo Barros once again to tell us about this ongoing collaboration. Hello again, Bernardo.
Hello again, everyone. Well, regarding this project, Oxo Energy, as an innovative energy storage solution, could help Brisa on a pathway of being carbon neutral by 2045. We already analyzed some possible pilot cases around EV charging, but the main difficulty and the main issue here is to assess the behavior of the equipment in different environments. So the intended pilot project that we define will help us assessing the viability of integrating Oxo with solar panels with the objective of being part of a green and sustainable tolling station.
Thank you so much, Bernardo. Now let's hear it from Michael from Oxo Energy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Wilmot. I'm the CFO of Oxo Energy, an energy storage business based in the UK. We worked with Brisa on identifying applications where our technology, a mechanical battery based on flywheel concept, could help in their operations. So we initially looked at EV charging applications where the flywheel would be used as a power booster to allow fast charging regardless of the grid capability and the time when the cars are coming. After some analysis, Brisa decided to look at another case, which is solar panel integration. So integrating solar energy into the electricity consumption of the Brisa facilities, whether it's toll gates, buildings, or service areas. Here, the flywheel will be in support of the solar production to actually smooth the curve of the production, because typically, as you can see in red in the top right corner graph, PVs, solar PVs are producing energy as intermittent, with some intermittencies that are characterized by these spikes. And the role of the flywheel is to absorb these spikes, to make a smooth curve that is way more predictable and much better for the integration into electrical grid or into for consumption from load. What can be noted as well that flywheels, because they have unlimited cycling capabilities and very fast response, can also assist in a grid support for inertia or frequency control. And ultimately, they can also help on the UPS, so for the power quality, and be combined with UPS batteries, where UPS batteries would finally be used only in cases where then there is a large power outage. So the objective of the test is to run a 2-3 months performance test at one of Brisa's facility to experiment the different scenarios. And ultimately, so from September, when we would deploy a flywheel until the end of the year, after we run all this series of tests, we would have a decent idea of how flywheel can contribute and make some economical analysis to see how it can be applied in Brisa and can be deployed in Brisa's network. So this is quite exciting for us to work with Brisa, and we're just looking forward to start the test in September. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael, and it's great to see that Ox2 Energy is powering the energy transition. Now, we're getting closer to the end, but last but not least, we have waste transformers from the Netherlands. So they have a solution that allows the transformation of food waste into clean energy and organic fertilizer. And they're now developing pilots with both Galp and Delta. So I would like to invite Eunice Costa from Delta to tell us about this collaboration. Hello again, Eunice. I see you are on mute. That has to be one that we can never have a call without
yes,
no one going
for the last time. So.
Of course,
but amazing what we will do with the waste transformers. We will talk only about our test with them, because we want to try our biocapsule. It's different, and let's see if our biocapsules could be digested in their technology. So this is something new for both sides. And then, of course, we have a different goal and more ambition. We are talking about organic waste, but for another project more ahead. So let's say what Waste Transformers has to say about it. But this is a long-term relationship. We hope so.
Thank you so much, Eunice. Now let's hear it from Galp, and I will invite Duarte Coutinho to tell us about their collaboration with Waste Transformers.
Hello again, Mohamed.
Hello again.
So at Galp, the topics of circular economies and clean energies are a big part of our sustainability agenda. However, we haven't given much thought before regarding waste management and organic waste utilization for cogeneration. And when we saw the presentations of Waste Transformers, we were very interested in their technology, and we decided to make a pilot and to test their tech. We have been evaluating two possible locations for the pilots. One is the canteen of the refinery, where a big amount of organic waste is being produced, and the other is one cogeneration unit that we have in a complex of greenhouses in the north of Portugal. But I will let our partners speak about the details of the pilots.
Thank you so much, Duarte, and thank you once again, Eunice. Indeed, let's hear it from Martin from Waste Transformers.
Good afternoon. Our project is around on-site solutions to transform food waste into value for Delta cafes and Galp in and around the municipality of Lisbon. The common challenge is when waste is wasted. We know that roughly 50% of all organic waste globally ends up in landfill, and that poses a lot of issues for the communities in terms of sanitation and hygiene conditions. But also, according to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, if we divert 1 ton of food waste from landfill to anaerobic digestion, we reduce CO2 emissions by 580 kilograms. Also, if we don't transport that waste, we reduce the CO2 emissions further. So the common solution, what does it look like? It's about taking a waste transformer and transforming that organic waste on site into a biogas, which is then converted into renewable energy for the benefit of the community, and also an organic fertilizer, which could then be used to grow more food sustainably to feed back to the community, creating a circular economy solution. So as far as the common solution for Delta, Galp, and the city of Lisbon is concerned, the idea here is then to take a waste transformer, to place it on site, and then collect the food waste from the restaurants as well as the biocapsules from the Delta cafes, feed them into the waste transformer, use the renewable energy for the benefit of that community or that location. And then also the biogas would be fed into the greenhouse project that we are looking at with Galp, and the organic fertilizer would be used for the greenhouses as well as local farms to grow new food to feed back to the people in the city of Lisbon, in the restaurants and so on. As far as Delta Cafes is concerned, the key challenges there are primarily the main focus being on the biocapsules, for which there's currently no perfect application for these capsules. And then secondly, looking at it from a city issue perspective, is the coffee and food waste from the restaurants, which is currently being transported to off-sites or distant locations, including landfill. There's also some challenges around separation of that waste and also the high energy costs. So with Delta Cafes, the goals of the pilot is looking at the biocapsules. How can we completely digest those into a valuable fertilizer, combining it with the food waste to be distributed to Delta suppliers? So, and secondly is explore the coffee and food waste from the restaurants, as I said, to combine with the biocapsules to provide green energy for the city and also create jobs for people with a distance to the labor market. Plus, we want to explore ways to create added value products out of that waste. For example, soap from coffee waste. In terms of next steps, we're going to be testing the biocapsules for suitability for the waste transformer solution. So we'll be shredding them to different sizes to see how quickly they digest. And we're currently arranging the samples. We expect to have the results 6 weeks after we've received the samples. We'll also continue to explore opportunities to combine coffee and food waste with the capsules from the restaurants. And then once we have the results from the biocapsule test, we will evaluate and then agree on next steps. As far as GALP is concerned, two key challenges. One was the restaurant, the food or the employee canteen food waste from the refinery, which currently goes to landfill. And also we identified a greenhouse opportunity, looking at the challenge they have with the organic waste from that greenhouse, and also the higher energy cost to operate running natural gas through the CHP that they have in place. So in terms of the goals of the pilot and next steps, as far as the refinery is concerned, we agreed that the food waste is too little for the waste transformer solution. So we will focus on the greenhouses to see how we can convert the organic waste from the greenhouses into biogas, and either use that biogas and run it through the current CHP or put in an alternative CHP in with the waste transformer to create renewable energy. And then the organic fertilizer would be used in the greenhouse. And therefore, as far as next steps, we will do this feasibility study around this to determine the way forward. So that's all from us. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with Delta, GALP, and the Lisbon municipality to transform waste.
Thank you so much, Martin, and it's really amazing to see how you are inspiring others to change the way we deal with organic waste. So now we have reached the end of the session, actually, but before letting you go, I would like to invite BTI's co-founder and head of innovation, Manuel Tanger, who will share with us a few words and conclude this event. Hello, Manuel. Are you there?
Hey there, Mohammed. Yes, I am, and thank you. Congrats. It's an amazing demo day. And it's quite an amazing, it's not an end to the project because there's things that are going on and the program will continue. And I think we'll have another point where we will see a lot of these pilots with the results and hopefully the deals that come after it. And this just emergent ecosystem, this innovation ecosystem that builds because of these bridges that are being built is quite amazing. If you just make a quick calculation, there are 12 partner companies, there are 10 startups in this phase. So just if we consider the one-on-one relationships, it's 120. But what we see is actually that startups work with different partners. So the mix is even bigger. And this goes to show that these relationships and this way of innovating is really how we should address complex issues, like is sustainability, like I think is almost everything in a city of the size of Lisbon. And so for complex issues, we believe that complex solutions, in the sense that it needs interactive, it needs many different parts, has to happen. And I think Solve Green Capital is a great example of this. And we just saw 10 amazing examples of things that hopefully we can see in the next few months. So I'm looking forward to go to Colombo and see the Beni. I hope to see some sensors in Galp stations. I hope to see some flywheels around there. So these are things that will hopefully be part of our daily life as citizens in Lisbon, improving our lives and just the eco-friendliness and the sustainability, the resilience of the city. A lot of the attributes that Renato was talking about, I think we are actively contributing with this program. So we are, in his words, deploying in the cities what we envision it to be in the near future, and doing it by protopia. I think I'm going to steal that sentence from you, because it's perfect. We are prototyping our way to innovation. This notion that we don't know what the result is, but we can only reach it if we experiment. And we are in an experimenting process. I think Câmara has been doing this, Câmara Municipal de Lisboa, very well. And we go back since 2016. I was looking back at the programs that we have. We've done like 7 with different topics: mobility, housing, tomorrow, which is related to COVID, and green capital now, of course. So there's this history and this experimentation that's continuously going on, which is, without question, the way to innovate and bring innovation to the city. The startups are doing great. I mean, they are the edgy part of the innovation part, the supposedly risky elements, but I think they're the least risky, because they're the ones that will bring us the solutions for the future, because they are solutions of the future. So thank you, Sol Green Capital team. Thank you, all the partners, and thank you, all the startups. I know we're in the middle of the road, but the road is really, really exciting. So let's go.
Thank you so much, Manuel. Indeed, although this is the official closure of the program, but the journey of collaboration and co-creation continues. From all of us at BETE, thank you so much for your time. It was a real pleasure to have you with us today. Hope to see you soon. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bom dia.